what love can't replace. As I watched him leave, I held my hand to my chest. It still had his warmth. I wasn't sure where John and I stood regarding our feelings for one another. With everything that happened, it didn't seem the time to burden John with questions about where we were at or where this was going. I feel like this has really escalated from the first chapter. Certainly feelings were there, even if we never explicitly said anything about them. Okay. But I thought that was just as well. The way things were progressing and the way we felt, they were there, at least not yet, not now. Yes, now! I need to finish this game! I was sitting in my room with Mai, watching a rather violent show about a group of humans trapped inside giant-sized walls trying to free themselves from their giant-like enemies, when there came a knock at my door. Mai paused the episode on her computer, rolling her eyes. Wonderful, great. Go ahead and get the door. I'm sure it's for you. What a bitch. As Mai hummed the series opening, I hastily crossed to the door and pulled it open. Aww, John. John stood at my door, a broad grin on his face. Hearing the music, he peered into my room. I drew the door closed behind me and stepped into the hallway. What brings you here? Lightning fast. John grabbed my wrist and dragged me down the hall. Ooh. John dragged me off to one side of the Primrose house before finally letting go. I rubbed my wrist, trying to keep a lid on my anger. What was that about? Sorry, I just wanted to make sure we weren't overheard. I thought some more about your proposition. My proposition? Ugh. Oh, he's the worst. Plan new shock 0.5. Why 0.5? You don't want to know. Anyways, I thought maybe this could be a thing, right? Maybe this could totally work. Maybe we could totally do the thing. We could do this thing. And then I thought, well, why should we stop there? Jacques, God rest his soul, was always the star of any scene he was in. A little scene stealer he was. I'll never be able to match his God-given charm and charisma. No way. No how. But I could at least get a new bird and teach it all of Juliet's lines in the play. I don't quit the play. The show goes on, and it's a touching homage to Jacques, even if nobody knows the truth about what happened. What do you think? He beamed at me. Hesitantly, very haltingly, I put a hand on his arm. John, don't you think it would be easier to get an actual human to play Juliet's role? Of course not. What are you, crazy? I think I am going crazy. He patted me on the head. Silly Hana. You know nothing of showbiz, but it's your innocence that makes you cute. Anyways, I have decided that you are going to the pet store with me, and you will help me pick out a suitably intelligent replacement for my darling Jacques. God rest his soul. But we have to be sneaky about it. Despite the fact that John made this decision independent of any input from me, I was excited. For the first time, John was looking and acting like himself again. The colour was back in his face, and he was joking around in that fast-talking way he usually had. There was no way I could turn him down, not after the week he had, and not with how much I wanted to be around him, without Jacques' shadow looming heavy over us. The truth comes out, doesn't it, Hana? Of course, I offered before, didn't I? Great, thanks, Hana. I feel so low energy right now, and it's probably because of one, I am day 2 of my caffeine detox, which I don't know why I'm doing now that I think about it, and this. What the hell? What the actual hell is this, John? I told you my feelings, or Hana told you her feelings. You hold her hand, and then this. What even? John clamped his hands over mine, shaking them fervently. This'll be great. Really it will. You won't regret this after all. Why would I ever regret it? But John had let go and was heading down the lane. I'll see you this weekend. We'll take the train to the city, so maybe don't wear your uniform. Of course not. I thought that was like a Japanese thing. Like all anime, they're always like wearing the uniforms no matter where they are. Did he take me for an idiot? No, he is an idiot, Hana. Just leave it. Mai scooted back over on her bunk to make room for me as I entered the room, hiding something sheepishly behind her back. What have you got there? Definitely not a cookie. How'd it go? Everything good with Mr. Birdman? I think so. I really think so. Mai, I don't really have much to do with Mai at the moment. Oh, chapter 3 already. Oh, he's all sad. But as the rest of the week passed, I got more and more worried for John. Maybe I should have tried with the continue crew, eh? 3 for the price of 1. Woo! Hey man, how's the play coming? Oh, you know, it's coming. We're having some trouble with the lead, so wasn't Jacques supposed to be the lead? Yeah, well, it's more like the side characters. There's a lot to juggle there. I've been busy. Busy was the least of it. John was lethargic, often spacey, and struggled to pay attention in class. More than once, Shane saved him by whispering an answer when Miss Shizuka called on him. That, and so, I don't know how I imitate PBG. So, when should we all get together to talk about the tournament? And this time, actually talk about it. The last few times we got a little too distracted. Ha ha ha. But Josh challenged me to a marionette party match. I couldn't let my throne be claimed. Yeah, whatever. You don't even hold the throne anymore. Anyways, when works for everyone. We should do it this weekend. I can do it then. Woo! Copacetic. Sounds good to me. I've got notes from last time. Just you wait. I know it's not how he talks. I don't know. The seat passed around the table. Well, he glanced at me then looked away. I can't really this weekend. I've got lots of stuff to do for the play. Really? I mean, if you can't, you can't, but we should meet sometime soon. The tournament's not far away. Yeah, neither is the play. Right. They're on the same weekend, aren't they? That's rough. Take your time then, I guess. Oh, pardon me. Well, we'll figure something out. I'll come over on Friday and we can brainstorm. PBG, sound good? I said that wrong. Yeah, thanks, dude. I felt so bad for John, but it was okay. We would get a new Jacques once that was over. We'd hopefully have time to practice and John would start feeling better and getting his work done. It was just a matter of time. As soon as class was over on Friday, I left Mai behind, sprinting back to the dorm so fast I didn't even have time to check with John about finalizing the plans. I was too excited. I'm gonna sneeze. Okay. I changed it to my favorite sweater and green shirt combo, releasing a contented sigh as the soft material encompassed my body. I rubbed my hands across my sweater, humming contentedly. Okay, the Asagao uniforms were nice, but they could be stiff and starched. In fact, I only really had 2. I mean, I had to wear them longer than I liked. It was always an unadulterated joy to put on other clothes. Ugh. John and I were going into the city to find him a new Jacques, and I was ready. And all the time I was at Asagao, I had yet to visit the city nearby. I hadn't even been to a big city since I was a kid. With slight nerves buzzing in my mind, I sat down and waited. Mai was at volleyball practice, so I had nobody to talk to, but I figured John wouldn't take long. I had literally seen him in class. ... Won't be much longer. He was probably on the staircase now. Where the hell was he? Was I supposed to meet him somewhere? John seems so flaky. Why? Why am I wasting my time? I didn't have his number, so I couldn't call him. I could go to his dorm and risk missing him on the way, or... Finally, there was a knock on my door. I bounded forward, happily, relief flooding through me. Oh. Ooh, PBG, hello. Finally, PBG's in front of me, avoiding my eyes. PBG, what brings you here? John wants you to meet him at the school gates. Okay, is there a reason he couldn't come get me himself? There is, but... Look, Hana, I don't know what you and John are up to, but please keep him safe. You know how he can be. Oh my gosh, PBG. Okay, of course I will. I'm a little confused. Don't worry, just keep an open mind. The hell? Okay, look. I don't think Hana rolls that way, PBG. PBG smiled at me, resting a hand on my shoulder. I straightened under his sudden touch. For some reason, it was comforting, oddly familiar. He nodded at me. It seemed like there was something more he wanted to say or express, but the look on his face told me he wasn't going to do it. He likes me. I think he likes me. Damn it, PBG. Why? With a shrug, he left. I locked my door and followed him outside. Students dawdled here and there on the grounds, much more of them than there usually were. Because it was a Friday, nobody felt the usual pressure to go back and finish their homework. No, it was safe to say Asagao was a nation of procrastinators, all needing the fear of God put into them before they all sat down, blah blah. I hurried to the school gate, praying John hadn't waited long. What? Oh, who's his character? It's his other character from his older videos. It's not I don't know, he's like Russian or something, but what the frickity? But when I got there, he was nowhere to be found. Are you serious? There was some weird guy though, and he looked kind of like a porn star. He glanced up as I approached, and I switched directions to wait on the other side of the gate. Where was John? If only he would hurry. Oh my gosh, what's his name? I turned around, peering back into the camera, and I was starting to get a little scared. The man took a step towards me. I quailed, hands tightly gripping my purse. Was he gonna rob me? Try to kidnap me? I stared straight ahead. No eye contact. Eye contact would only make it worse. Not even looking. Malkovich, that's it, Malkovich. Hana! I jumped. How do you know my name? The man reached out to touch me and I shrieked. And I flung my purse into his head. Ouch! What the hell, Hana? I can't remember what his voice was. Wait, that voice sounded familiar. John, is that you? John rushed a hand over my mouth. It's Malkovich to you. I'm your uncle from Russia. Got it? Oh my gosh. Why are you pretending to be my uncle? And why are you from Russia? I'm not. John stopped as a small group of students passed, eyeing us warily. Then he leaned closer to me. I stared at the edge of his mustache. Was it glued on? I'm not about to leave. I'm not about to have people see me buying on your bird. Okay, my accent is just going off the Richter right now. I've betrayed Jock enough as it is. I couldn't take it if... Oh my gosh, I'm starting to sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I couldn't take it if everybody knew. I don't know. I'm really sorry. I don't know. I'm trying. I'm so startled right now. A number of problems with almost every single assumption that John made about this decision presented themselves to me. But PBG told me to be open-minded. In that case, we should get away from Asagao as soon as possible. John beamed. The edges of his inflated... Oh, what is it? Coiffure. Trembling with cheer. Thanks, Hana. I knew you would understand. That's terrible. Oh my gosh. We're on the train! Woo! Still, it didn't make traveling in public with him any easier, because he probably looks like some rapist or something. We had to take a compartment with a granny sitting inside, and she spent the entire trip alternating between glares and judgmental sighs. I was pretty certain she thought John was my pet. You don't know. I guess if some people are... Oh, my niece! Beautiful country, eh? Aha! all the things I put up with for John. Thankfully, it wasn't much longer until we reached the city. John and I disembarked from the train, watching a smattering of familiar Asagao faces disappear into the subway station. In the city, John wasn't getting stared at nearly as much as he was in the countryside. Eccentric people were the norm, it seemed. We left the subway and emerged onto a busy street. Small shops lining the road, salarymen, middle-aged mothers, old men with dogs, children rollerblading down the road. Everybody strolled past us, caught up in their own business and paying absolutely no mind. I took a deep breath and smiled. The disgusting, gasoline-tinted air, the small scraps of paper littering the ground, the homeless man on the corner of the street with a cardboard sign saying we're all going to hell. I love the city. Me too. I can't imagine why a person would live anywhere else. The bigger the better in my... Oh, whoops, I did that too soon. The bigger the better, in my opinion. I nodded and John glanced quickly around him. So, what we say we find this pet shop and get the ball rolling. Already? Yeah, get in, get out. That's how Malkovich does things. But we just got here, and it's my first time into the city in years, and we don't even know where the pet shop is, and it'll be so much fun to explore, and no one's ever even gonna know it's you. This girl! Oh, there's a bug on here. I latched onto John's sleeve, bouncing up and down like a small child. You know what happens when they do that, eh? Boobs on the arm. Anyway. Please, John, for me. I gave it my best attempt at puppy eyes, reminding myself to practice in the mirror later on. It was a necessary weapon, one worthy of practice. Do we have to? Yes. Hana's getting very comfortable, considering she was, like, terrified of these guys before. John groaned. Fine, but only until we find the pet shop. Got it? As soon as we see it, we're getting... we're getting what we came for and going home. Geesh, you're like a mobster. John wiggled his mustache and nodded. Away! John and I had a great time wandering the city. We stopped off and got smoothies to drink. We looked at the statues and took turns mimicking their poses in front of them. At one point, a guy catcalled me from his car, and John went full-on Malkovich on him, screaming at him in that peculiar accent. Ooh, I wish I could have seen that. You're going for Malkovich's niece! Malkovich's niece! Oh yeah, that's right, it's niece, not his girl's name. Do you know what Malkovich had to do to enter this country? You have no prospect. No! John ran at the car, and the man and his friend sped away with tears in their eyes. My hero. Here's what Malkovich does. The hours passed away without me even noticing. Oh, John, Malkovich, look at that. We were just passing by a jewelry store when something in the shop window caught my eye and I stopped in my tracks. Pressing my nose to the glass, I grinned. There was a string of pearls and amethyst forming the meeting point between the two strands. Wow, Hana, okay. Is there something you're interested in? He looked at me critically, then shook his head. I can't say it suits you. Oh, pricked, my shoulders hunched. I took a deep, long breath. It was okay. He didn't mean it like that. It came out much worse than he intended. I was sure of it. Well, I think it would look good on me. My mother had a necklace just like that. My dad bought it for her as an anniversary present the year she gave birth to me, and she wore it all over the place until... I stopped, not wanting to spoil the mood, but John raised an eyebrow. Until what? Never mind. I glanced again at the necklace, this time noticing the price tag next to it. A rock fell to the pit of my stomach. Well, of course it was going to be hella expensive. Well, it wasn't meant to be. I moved on from the store, and after a second, John followed me. So, what was it? Don't worry about it, it's not important. John leaped in front of me, arms outstretched. Hana, I might not look like it, but I am a person who values honesty. He thumped his porno chest, and I frowned. I love looking at this, it's so funny. You gotta be blunt with me, or else I'm not gonna get it. Okay, I'm dithering between my accents again. And if I want to know something, I don't see why you should hide it. Not if we are truly friends. Ugh. Sorry. It's just, it's sad. I don't want to talk about it. If I was honest, that was the only part of the reason. Yes, it was sad. Yes, it made people feel bad when I brought it up, but even more than that, I didn't want people to pity me. I got tired of seeing the looks on their faces when I mentioned it. The way their brows scrunched up and they cooed as if I was talking to a small kitten. I didn't want John to look at me that way. Lay it on me. I got this. John stretched an arm against the lamppost we were passing, planting his feet solidly on the ground. It seemed we wouldn't be moving until I said it. Fine. My mum passed away when I was 8, so I barely remember her. Happy? He looked surprised for a brief second, and I glanced away. I knew what would come next, and I didn't want to see it. Instead, I strode on past him. In a second, he was right back next to me, pumping his arms in a characteristic show-tune manner. For a moment, it seemed like he forgot he was Malkovich. Yes, actually, I'm quite happy. That wasn't too bad, was it? The words flowed swift out of his mouth, just as they always did, almost without care. He wasn't trying to coddle me. I'm getting used to this look, actually. That porno look. No, it wasn't. So do you have that necklace back home, then? No, she was buried with it because it was so important to her. My dad misses her so much. John nodded sagely. I bet. I think I can kind of understand in some way. We stood at a stoplight, waiting for the light at the crosswalk to turn green. Why'd you even come to Asagao anyway? What? You're such a scholarship kid. You're a scholarship kid, ain't you? It's probably cost a lot to go here, so you must have some big reason. I don't know, is that Russian or am I starting to sound like something else? I bit my lip. Why was John being so nosy? Well, because you guys are potentially dating. I bet he wouldn't like it if I asked him these questions, and it was kind of hard to take him seriously in that get-up. Well, yeah, I agree with that. I scanned the street for something neat, something to distract him from the question, and gasped, "Look at that pet store!" Oh, yeah. The light changed to green, and I sped across the street and down the next block. A bright orange sign proclaimed the shop to be Pets and Pests. Not the friendliest of names, but it would do. Come on, let's go. I grabbed the door and held it open for John, but he just stared at me. What's wrong? I don't know if I can do this anymore, Hana. He glanced down at the street. This was a bad idea. Let's just go home. What do you say? I rolled my eyes and grabbed his hand, pulling him inside. Come on, you'll be fine. Poka, poka, poka. Alright.